Well, I'm so pleased to be joined by Jim and Andrea Thome. How are you both doing?
We're doing great.
Yeah.
We're like everybody. We're, just waiting for everything to end so we can get back to a little bit of normalcy here. And we're really excited, to see baseball back in action real soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we're hoping for the best.
We all are. I know that. And I want to – memory lane is a great place to walk down nowadays, I think. And I want to talk about a day in 2008, game number 86 of that season. No, just kidding. Game 163, Jim, you've said that it gave you chills being there with all the fans in black. And then, Andrea, I know it was a special day for you. Can you both just walk me through that day?
So I remember, obviously, that week getting to the Blackout game was just, up and down. We were trying to get in. And then, obviously, playing that game, going out to warm up, and seeing our crowd all in black, it still to this day gives me chills to think just, how special that was, and the view from the players on the field to see everyone dressed up in black. It really pumped us up and gave us, I think, the added boost that we needed to get by, and it was such a well-played game. Nick Blackburn of the Twins, and then our guy, John Danks, pitched a heck of a game.
1-2 on Justin Mordeau on the delivery. He's anyway. The 2-2 to Mauer. Struck him out. 2 strikes, 2 outs in the pitch. A swung on a miss. Strike 3. Got him.
We had Griffey's throw in center field.
The 2-2. A swing and a high pop-up. Short center field. Griffey coming on. Kadyr's going to try the arm. He's tagging. Griffey has it. He's
to get Kadir at home plate. AJ hung on to the ball.
There's Kadir trying to run over Przezinski. The Twins are out here in the 5th on a double play, fly out to center.
The home run in the 7th inning was special, from my end, because the way Blackburn was pitching me, he was throwing me cutters in the whole game, and he threw me one changeup about in the 3rd or 4th. I think it was my 2nd at bat, and I told Coop, I said, Coop, I'm going to sit on his changeup. And in the 7th inning, he threw it. Obviously was fortunate to hit a home run.
The 2-2 to Thome from Blackburn. A swing and a high fly ball, deep center field. Running back, Gomez. He's at the track. He's at the wall. Gone. Thome lights it up. Sox lead 1-0. He's hit his 34th. Straightaway center.
And then the other thing that I don't think gets looked at is Brian Anderson's catch in center field.
The pitch to Alexei.
He made a tremendous catch to end the game.
Sox win! Sox win! Great play by Anderson. The White Sox are going to the players.
Of all the games I was fortunate to play in my career, it was as crisp and as well played from really both teams as you could get.
Yeah. I remember from that time, actually not long before that, a couple of weeks before that, it was an election year too, it was 2008, and I'd had the opportunity to meet then candidate Barack Obama, and he heard, I think Scott Reifert might have been there, and he heard that I was married to Jim, and all he cared about is he pulled me close in and he goes, tell me we're going to win, we're going to win. And he knew it was leading up to this game. I forget how many days, it wasn't long before that, but he was such an excited White Sox fan. So even he, 2 months away from, being elected, was all he was thinking about were the White Sox. That's how the energy was during that time. That's what I remember.
Well, Andrea, that's awesome. Jim had one feeling on the field, right? With the electricity, you're in it. Like you obviously are tied to it very closely, but you're in the crowd as well. What was it like in the ballpark that day?
When those moments happen, blackout is a good way to put it. That's kind of what I did. when he hit the home run, it's like a vacuum. It's like everything. A couple of times it's happened this way, 500, but also this moment, because you could feel how everyone in the stadium. When you have a personal milestone, it's really cool for the family and people who are following that. But when it's a moment like this, where everybody in the stadium is invested, it's a different animal. I have chills on the back of my neck thinking about it now. And it was one of those special moments in his career. Maybe one of the best.
What'd you do for dinner after the game? You remember?
Boy, I don't remember.
I don't remember.
We just celebrated. Well, then I think we went to Tampa, correct? From there, we might have gotten on a plane and went to Tampa. And yeah, everything from that point goes so quick. You know, you look back, which we're doing right now, and reflect. It's just so great. You know, living here now, I still, Jason, to this day, people will come up to me and they'll say, "Oh, thank you for the home run in the Blackout game." And you know, it really, it's a great memory. It was one of the most well played. You know, think about it. As a player, to do something special to help your team get into the playoffs is as good as it gets. You go through this great, and I've always talked about the journey from spring training to opening day to get to All-Star break. And then if you're able to get in the playoffs is just so great. That's what it's all about.
What's amazing as I sit here and hear you both talk about it is in that moment, that just made the game 1-0. We didn't know at the time that it was going to be this special, nobody else is going to score situation. So you think you've done something to help your team, but then only after it's over do you say, wow, I just put the team in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think it's a testament to our pitching. You know, John Danks, obviously, and then I think Jinx came in and shut the door down. But, you know, we had such good pitching. The 05 White Sox through, well, let's face it, through 08, 09. You know, I mean, we've always had good offenses here, but really our pitching staff was rock solid for many, many years, and it showed during that time.
Well, Jim, thank you so much. I have one question before we let you go. We're going to be talking to Johnny Danks about the Blackout game as well. And you talk about how well pitched it was. What one question would you ask John Danks?
My question to him would be, you know, because, you know, I watched Johnny for many years and he worked so hard. What was different that night? You know, what was you know, like as a hitter, you know, when you go out and you hit 3 home runs, there's something different. When John Danks took the mound that night, what was different than a July or June game? And what was it that got him locked in? Because from inning 1, he was as locked in as any starting pitcher, except, you know, I've seen Burley pitch the perfect games and, you know, and they're obviously locked in, but John Danks had something special that night, and I would wonder what his feeling was during that.